Now, so many of our kids are back in school this week. Most elementary school kids and a lot of high school kids in our area. So what happens when COVID shows up in their classrooms?
What you see right now is data from the Spokane schools about that very thing. This graph shows COVID cases and the number of kids and staff members in quarantine. The biggest number you see are those people in quarantine because of possible exposure. But as we eliminate some of those metrics and focus on confirmed cases, you can see the numbers are small. The latest numbers from last week show just 5 confirmed cases among students and staff across all Spokane public schools.
Well, Elenee is looking into the numbers and the protocol.
The safety of your kids and staff is the priority for school districts. Any inkling of sickness is taken a little more seriously.
Normal years, we're still going to want to send kids home when they're sick. This year, that's even more important.
A new report from the Washington Department of Health says high schools are more likely to have larger outbreaks compared to elementary or middle schools. A concern as Spokane Public Schools brings those older students back to class on Monday, and knowing it's harder to keep track than it is in elementary schools.
The seating charts are really important, so those contact tracing nurses, we know which kids are sitting around any students who may have tested positive for COVID.
So what happens if someone possibly has COVID? The student gets sent to a health room and waits in an isolated room. Parents are contacted, and the school will recommend a COVID test. The district's contact tracers start their work trying to figure out who was in close contact. If there is a positive case in a school, the district will notify everyone in that school about that case. Now, if your student is exposed, they'll send a separate letter home.
We really want our quarantining to be targeted, and we do that according to health department guidance, of course. But we don't want to have to get into a situation where we're quarantining an entire classroom.
Like we've seen before, the virus is unpredictable and can be transmitted anywhere. Right now, 10 bus drivers are out with COVID, contracting it outside of work. The district says it's working on contact tracing right now. Per Spokane Regional Health District's guidelines, students who sat in the row directly behind the driver should be in quarantine. As schools and the health district work through situations like these, more teachers will soon be vaccinated. But that will only do so much because the state health department says students are more likely the ones who bring the virus in. Other measures such as masks, washing hands, and social distancing will continue to help students and staff be as safe as they can. In Spokane, Elenee, 4 News Now.